Psoriasis. Psoriasis is very important topic in in integumentary system, because not only the clinical feature, the pathophysiology, diagnosis, and the treatment. And from all the section of this topic is equally important, because from all the sections questions are asked both in your MBBS exams and the competitive exam. So let's begin with the psoriasis. If we see the definition, psoriasis is chronic inflammatory disorder which affect keratinization process of our skin. So let's break my sentence. It is a chronic disorder. Just like diabetes and blood pressure, which has a long course, similarly psoriasis also have a long course. Second, it is an inflammatory disorder. So the basic pathophysiology or the etiopathogenesis of psoriasis is alteration of immune system, and the process, the changes in skin is the alteration of the keratinization process. So now what is keratinization process? What is the normal keratinization process? So if we see normal keratinization process of our skin is, let's go to our basic. As we know that we have 3 layers in our skin. The uppermost layer is known as epidermis, the middle layer is known as dermis, and the lowermost layer is known as hypodermis or subcutaneous tissue. Now in this epidermis we have 5 important layers of cell. The lowermost layer of our epidermis is known as stratum basale, which is also known as germinativum layer. Why? Because it is the stem cell of our skin. These stem cells are responsible for producing other cells of epidermis. Now, as the stratum basale cells are single cell thick layer, so whenever this stratum basale cell multiply, it moves upward and get differentiated. As you can see this, it moves upward and form spine-like cell. So this layer is known as stratum spinosum. Again, the cell move upward and form granules, and this layer is known as stratum granulosum. Again, this cell move upward, all the cell organelle get lost except nucleus, and this cell layer is known as stratum lucidum, which is only present in palm and sole. This is also your MCQ, only palm and sole. Again, the cell move upward, the nucleus is finally lost by karyorrhexis process, and the cell become anucleated, and this anucleated cell layer is known as stratum corneum, which is the uppermost layer of our epidermis. Now what is happening in psoriasis? In psoriasis, if you ask me what is the cause of psoriasis, see, there is no one-to-one cause in psoriasis. Just like in tuberculosis, we have Mycobacterium tuberculosis. In psoriasis, we do not have one cause, but we have multiple triggers and multiple factors which are responsible for psoriasis. And these multiple factors or triggers activate psoriasis in genetically susceptible individual. So both genetic and environment factors are responsible for triggering immune system, and this immune system alter this normal keratinization process and lead to psoriasis. Okay, so let's see the pathophysiology of psoriasis. So let's start with pathophysiology of psoriasis. Just now I have told you normal physiology of our skin, the epidermis, where keratinization process take place. And as I have told you, in psoriasis, due to genetic and environmental factor, there is alteration in immune system. And this alteration in immune system are responsible for dermal and epidermal changes in psoriasis. Once you know these changes, you can easily know what are the clinical features and how to treat it. So let's start. What is happening in dermis? The first change is occurring in dermis, and that is recruitment of CD8 T cells. These T cells, which is CD8 types, accumulate in dermis. The number of cell increases along with dendritic cells. These two cells accumulate in dermis, and these are responsible for capillary dilatation and tortuousness. Okay, so the dermal capillaries become dilated and tortuous, and this is the reason of erythema. Okay, now these capillary dilatation and the tortuousness of capillary, these inflammatory cells leak out and reaches an altered epidermis keratinization process. Thus, the normal keratinization process, which was taking 28 days in psoriasis, this process is completing by 4 days. So you can imagine, since the process has become fast, the number of layers of epidermis will increase. Okay, so stratum corneum, when this layer is increased, we call it as hyperkeratosis, which are two types: orthokeratosis and parakeratosis. Ortho means typical type, para means atypical types. Have you heard about paranoid movies? The movies which are not normal, it is known as paranormal. Okay, so as we know that normally nucleus is absent in stratum corneum. Similarly, in orthokeratosis also nucleus will remain absent, but parakeratosis, where things are not normal, here the nucleus will be present. So you will have nucleated type of stratum corneum, because to lose nucleus we need time, but in psoriasis we don't have time. Since the process is completing in 4 days, the process is incomplete and the process is atypical, so the nucleus remain intact and we get parakeratosis type of stratum corneum. Similarly, the stratum granular layer will be decreased or absent. Why? Because we have no time, and we know that to form granules in the granular layer we need time, and in psoriasis, since the process is so fast, there is no time to form granules, so the layer become hypogranulosis or absent of granular layer. Next, stratum spinosum and stratum basale is collectively known as stratum malpighi, and here also the cell layer will increase, which is known as acanthosis. Okay, so we get acanthosis, hypogranulosis and parakeratosis. So due to increase of layers of epidermis, we get plaque. What is plaque? Plaque is elevated skin lesion which is more than 0.5 centimeter is known as plaque. And what is the color of this plaque? Red. Red or erythematous plaque is the clinical feature of psoriasis. What was the reason of erythema? Dilatation and tortuousness of capillaries, that is dermal capillaries. Okay, so let me revise your pathophysiology of psoriasis. In psoriasis, there is alteration of immune system which is responsible for dermal and epidermal changes. In the dermis, the first change is recruitment of CD8 type of T cells and dendritic cells. The question which was asked in previous exam, what is the type of cells recruited in psoriasis? It was CD8 T cells and dendritic cell. What it is doing? It is altering the dermal capillaries. Thus, the capillaries become dilated and tortuous, which is responsible for erythema of psoriasis. This dilated capillaries leak out the inflammatory cells, and these inflammatory cells stimulate your epidermis and alter its keratinization process. The process which was completing in 28 days, now completing in 4 days, due to which more and more epidermis layer is formed. This is the reason the skin become elevated, and the elevated skin which is more than 0.5 centimeter is called as plaque. So in psoriasis, what we get? We get erythematous plaques. Okay. Along with plaque, we get scales. Very important, scales. And what is the color of the scale? Silvery scale. Now, what is the reason of scale? As we know that in winters, why we apply moisturizer in winters? Because the dead skin it appears, अपने को लगता है कि कुछ मॉइस्चराइज करने की ज़रूरत है, डेड स्किन दिख रही है जो फ्लेकी वाइट कलर की होती है, that is our scale which is a dead layer of our skin. Similarly, in psoriasis, since the process is completing in 4 days, more and more scales are formed. One scale, then second scale, then third scale. Due to stacking of these scales, air gets trapped inside these scales. Air is trapped inside these scales, and this is the reason why the scale appears silvery white. Okay, so what is the clinical feature in psoriasis? We get erythematous plaque with silvery scales. Okay, and the reason of 6 scales are more and more dead layer, which is stratum corneum. Okay, the stratum corneum layer was increased, what we call it as hyperkeratosis, and the type was parakeratosis due to retention of nucleus. The granular layer was absent or hypogranulosis, since we have no time to form granules, and the stratum malpighi, the layer is increased and we call it as acanthosis. So it was, continue. So it was the pathophysiology of psoriasis. Now you can easily make out what is the clinical feature of psoriasis. In psoriasis, we get red color plaque, okay, with silvery scales. This red color plaque is well defined, okay, or you can say that it was the edge was very clear. Okay, similarly it can be multiple. Initially it is unilateral, then it become bilateral. The most common site involved in psoriasis is extensors, then flexors. What do you mean by extensors? Elbows, knees, lower back or sacral area. Flexors mean neck fold, axillary fold, groin area. Okay, these are atypical psoriasis, and this is typical psoriasis, also known as psoriasis vulgaris or chronic plaque psoriasis. So, what are the forms of psoriasis? We have 4 forms of psoriasis. Most common and the first is chronic plaque psoriasis. 85 to 90% psoriasis are chronic plaque psoriasis, which are typical psoriasis present in extensor area, elbow, knees and back. This is your MCQ, this is your MCQ, this is your MCQ, this is your MCQ. Okay, what was the second? Second is guttate psoriasis. What do you mean by guttate? Teardrop or teardrop, sorry, teardrop, just like आंसू की तरह, teardrop like. Okay, it is small plaque with minimal scale. Yes, it will be also red, small red plaque with minimal scales. Okay, mainly present in upper chest, upper back, proximal upper limb means arm area and lower limb means thigh areas. Okay, these are mainly present in children's less than 12 years and mainly associated with streptococcal infection, mainly pharyngitis. Next, the third type is erythrodermic type, erythrodermic psoriasis. What do you mean by erythroderma? Erythro means red, derma means skin. When 90% of skin become red and scaly, we call it as erythroderma. And the most common cause of erythroderma is psoriasis. Fourth is pustular psoriasis. Okay, so just need to elaborate pustular psoriasis. When you hear the term pustule, you think of infection, but no, it is sterile pustule, means there is no bacteria, no virus, no infection. It is sterile pustule and it is due to collection of neutrophils. This collection of neutrophils is seen at the level of stratum corneum and stratum spinosum, and we call it as collection of neutrophils. In stratum corneum is known as micro-Monro axis, again MCQ. And second, collection of neutrophil at stratum spinosum is known as spongiform pustules of Kogos. Okay. Now, yeah, difficult name, but try to remember this because direct MCQs are coming from this name only. Okay, many times in NEET and different competitive exams this question has been asked, so try to remember the name. Very typical of pustular psoriasis. Try to remember there is no infection, it is a sterile pustule, just a collection of neutrophils. Now clinically also you can divide pustular psoriasis into localized pustular psoriasis and generalized pustular psoriasis. In localized pustular psoriasis, if it is occurring in palm and sole, it is known as palmoplantar pustular psoriasis. Similarly, acral area, acral means tip of the fingers, okay, it is known as acrodermatitis continua of Halopeau. I know again a difficult name, but very typical of psoriasis. In generalized psoriasis also we have divided into in pregnancy and in non-pregnancy condition. If generalized psoriasis is occurring in pregnancy, we call it as impetigo herpetiformis. It was asked in my exam when I was giving AIMS 2012. This question was asked, and what was the irony? I made it mistake because I never heard this name, so I was not able to answer this question. So try Yes, you have heard it right now. Try to remember this. It is a misnomer. Impetigo means bacterial infection. Herpetiforme means viral infection. But it is neither bacterial, neither viral. It is a psoriasis, which is pustular type, common in pregnancy, which is known as impetigo herpetiformis. Similarly, if the pustular psoriasis generalized type occurring in non-pregnant state, it is called as von Jumbusch generalized pustular psoriasis. Okay, so this completes your forms of psoriasis. We have 4 forms of psoriasis. How you will make diagnosis in psoriasis? For diagnosis, clinical diagnosis, OPD test, or you can say bedside test, and finally biopsy. However, psoriasis is a clinical diagnosis. We can easily diagnose it clinically, but in exams and in clinical practice, you must know what are the OPD tests and what is the histological feature of psoriasis, which is very, very important MCQ, very difficult to remember. But if you have heard my pathophysiology, you can easily remember the histological feature of psoriasis. So, what is the clinical diagnosis? I have told you it is red color plaque with silvery scales, well defined, start unilaterally, become bilateral, mostly on the extensor side. Okay, along with some nail changes, which I will discuss it later on, because nail changes of psoriasis is again an important topic. We will discuss it later. Now, what is the OPD test? The most important OPD test is Grattage test, and the 2 important sign is candle grease sign and Auspitz sign. So, what are these tests? In Grattage test, what we do, we know this is red color plaque with silver scale. Now, we have to confirm it. So, we will take a glass slide and will start scraping, very mild and gentle scraping. What will happen? The scale will increase, accentuation will scale. And have you seen candles? When candle is burning, the wax get stacked in the lower side of the candle. Similarly, in psoriasis, the scale increases whenever we scrape the lesion. So, in Grattage test, the test becomes positive when the scale is increased, and it is known as candle grease sign. Okay, the test is known as Grattage and the sign is known as candle grease sign. But if we keep on scraping same lesion, at some time scale will decrease, and when we reach the dermis, pinpoint bleeding will occur due to tortuous dilated capillaries, and this sign is known as Auspitz sign. Pinpoint bleeding, it indicates that you have breached dermis during scraping and the capillaries which was dilated and tortuous has ruptured, which lead to pinpoint bleeding. Now come to biopsy, which is very, very important. In biopsy, you will take 4 to 5 mm skin lesion and send to histopathology. And what you will get in histology? In epidermis, in stratum spinosum, you will get parakeratosis. I think now we don't need to mug up. I have told you this in pathophysiology. And in case of pustular psoriasis, what you will get? Micro-Monro abscess. In stratum granular layer, the layer will decrease, which is known as hypogranulosis or absent of granular layer. Stratum malpighi, it will show acanthosis. Stratum spinosum will show spongiform pustules of Kogos. In dermis, capillary dilatation and tortuous capillaries will be seen, along with T cell, which is CD8 type of cells is increased, along with few dendritic cell. So this is your histopathology of psoriasis.